Hello people of the internet, it's Amanda and I'm super excited because for today's video we're going to be talking about Kinpuri's Mr. First Dome Tour 2022 DVD/Blu-ray release, and I have my copies right here of the regular and the limited edition version already. I have my pen light out. I did an unboxing video for the goods that I got when it was released a couple of months ago, at least last year, so I'll be putting a link to that video down in the description below as well. But I'm just super excited about this because when I heard that apart from, it's their first ever dome tour, probably gonna be like their only dome tour considering the things that are happening, it made it really grand. I saw the reports. A lot of people who saw it had really good things to say about the production and everything like that, and most importantly they included a documentary, and not just the ordinary behind the scenes documentary that they've done in the past, but a really long one detailing stuff that really went into the production as directed and conducted by the members. And so that one I'm really excited about, and that's why I was really pumped receiving my copies of this. And for today's video, as usual, as with any Kinpuri release, I usually do an unboxing video, and that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to start off with the things that come with both versions first. So this one is a clear poster, and then there's also this one which is a postcard type of thing with the members right here. Then at the back, I really like this one. It just has this like look of a postcard within a postcard with the stage right here that they have. So again, props to Jinguji for being the concert director of the group. He said that it was his idea to create this like Ferris wheel type of like contraption thing that served as not just a backdrop but also a major part of the stage for the dome tour, and I think it's absolutely amazing. When the news outlets released the digest a couple of months ago, and when they released their own digest just a couple of weeks ago, it was really just beautiful, and I can't wait to see it in the actual footage of the concert. And yeah, they also have this. Now, I've talked about how this is my favorite costume of theirs when it comes to like the king prince royal type of image that they have. This blue ensemble with high boots is just definitely amazing. Like the first time I saw this when they used it in a performance years ago, definitely remains to be one of my favorites, and I really love that it became the central piece for the poster. So performed Cinderella girl wearing this particular costume, and absolutely just love the idea of that. Again, as I mentioned, definitely one of my top, if not my ultimate favorite royal type of costume that they've worn. And again, with Mr., so it's a reference to their junior days when they became a unit, Mr. King versus Mr. Prince. And like there's definitely a lot of like references to their past discography up until the moment that this happened around April to May of last year. And so it's definitely a mix of songs that are really well loved when it came to like the earlier parts of their discography, as well as their development in terms of artists when they entered their whole like Resense era. I have to say that Resense definitely is my current favorite when it comes to album concept, performance, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm just really happy that Mr. was a culmination of both going with like songs that that just show their history and at the same time their growth as a group. Now, with that said, so I'm gonna go with the regular version first. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm not exactly like, I think I mentioned this in a couple of tweets when this was when this was announced, like the cover and everything. Kinpuri DVDs, I'm not always a huge fan of the layout and the designs and everything. I mean, it's always the inside that counts when it comes to their DVD releases, for the concerts, especially when it comes to the regular version. This one, not that bad. There's just like this wiggly thing in terms of the font and everything, but overall, it's definitely a lot better as compared to the Land one, which I feel like is still the worst one to date. But I like how, you know, it still fits with the whole just clean white layout, but sort of still very theatrical in a way. So yeah, so the dates are here as well. So they're in Fukuoka, Osaka, Tokyo, and Aichi, Nagoya. So this is the thin photo booklet that it comes with. As usual with regular versions, even with singles or albums, it's a lot thinner than the limited edition ones. But it still includes like photos from, you know, the show, just to showcase it in a little bit of summary, and obviously like the credits for whoever worked on, you know, the stage, and also the actual like footage for the concert. So yeah, and then we have 3 discs. So there's disc 1, which contains the main CD, the main concert proper, and then the other 2 are the appendices for this one. So yeah, again, regular version definitely well packed, and I understand that it is so, because again, this is Dome Tour. This isn't like the usual arena concerts that they've done before, and so that's why it was expected that there's just gonna be a lot to put in there. So yeah, and then let's move on to the actual version that I'm pretty excited about, the limited edition version. Now, this one I'm actually a fan of in terms of the design. It's just nice, clean, and, you know, just simple with the logo and everything. They didn't go ham with this one. This definitely reminds me of I think the Land concert DVD as well, where they just went with something a little bit more minimalistic when it came to the other version, which I like. You know, it's just nice, clean. Make sure you don't touch this with, I don't know, makeup on your hands or something like that. So just gonna put it here because the white balance is being thrown off. Really thick, like this looks like, you know, 2 inches thick. Then when you open, so this is what the inside looks like. Again, still very minimalist, but there's a lot of like scribbling on the sides with king and prince and all of those things and stuff like that. And I guess it really gives it that kind of like youthful vibe to it in a way, like conceptualizing and everything, because again, this is a Dome Tour where, I mean, Kinpuri has always been vocal about how involved they are when it comes to their releases and all those things, and of course they wouldn't pass up an opportunity to do so when it comes to their first ever Dome Tour. And I think that's what this is resembling, you know, like scribbles and notes when it comes to planning out the Dome Tour. When you take out that first layer, so this is what the back looks like. Again, I absolutely love this. It says King and Prince. Then when you open it, so again, 3 CDs. So with the regular version, that's 6 CDs in total, or DVDs, or Blu-ray, whichever ones you got. And then again, concert proper, there's also the documentary, and I forgot what the other one is. The digest for the Kinpuri Theater, and then Tokyo Dome, and also the Aichi one. So there's definitely a lot of like inclusions for, again, for everything. And yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, even the regular version doesn't feel like a regular version in a way, considering that, you know, it's the same amount of CDs, and at the same time there's just really so much content here. I saw a breakdown of like the time in terms of like how many minutes or hours there is per footage, and it totals, I think, more or less 8 hours just finishing the entire thing. So that's definitely a lot. One which is the photo book. So this one definitely a lot thicker as compared to the regular version. As you can see, a lot of the elements that went into, you know, the staging are featured in the outside of the photo book and everything. And then there's tons of photos of the members and different parts of the performance, and then again credits at the back. So there. And then one more is very, very interesting because it's very, very hollow, but it's still a box, and it shows, you know, the current logo that they used. But then when you slide this one here, it also includes stickers which feature the logos that Kaito actually designed for this concert. The stickers look like, so these are the ones that didn't make it into like the final logo, but these are their drafts. And so this is like the first one, which I think is the closest to the current one that is here right now. But yeah, it's still very rough in a way. And then the next one is this one. So it's just a plain Mr. Title. It's not showing up clearly, but there's pink text at the back, very similar to the scribbles that are in the cover. But looking at it, it includes like scribbles of the songs that they are including in the performance. There's Land, Magic Touch, Kimateru. So titles of their singles actually scribbled in pink. This one is a little bit more industrial looking. So there's again Mr., but it looks a lot more blocky. A little bit more like, it looks like a theater sign of sorts. So yeah. This one is just nice and simple and really, really cute. And what I love about this one is it includes the member colors of the 6 of them. So they've always talked about, you know, aside from Mr. being a reference to their junior days, they've always, you know, even up until now, whenever they talk about their debut or all of those things, they never really miss out on the fact that they talk about, you know, it's the 6 of them even after Genki has left. And so this is a nice reflection of that, like this particular logo right here. And then the last one is a lot more, you know, on the nose with the whole like Mr. thing. But I do feel like, you know, this fits a more boxy type of concept. Like for this one, if they're going to go with this one, it's a lot more restricted in a way. And it's obvious why, you know, it has more Namayo Shiete vibes and stuff like that. So I was really, really happy that I went with something that, you know, that has a broader or a more general touch on things, which is the current logo that they have now. I wasn't exactly the biggest fan of this logo initially when I first saw it, but like hearing the concept about it, and also like the font that they use, everything and stuff like that, and again just a major reference of it when it comes to like their history, is I think one of the biggest factors why it grew on me. I always love these types of things where it's very well thought out, like there's like a bigger concept behind it. It talks about, you know, because it's a milestone and stuff like that, so there's a lot of significance that went into the concept. I really, really like that. And instead of just focusing on mere aesthetics of the thing, you know, it's something that captures the idea of what's being conveyed out there. And I think Kinpuri really does a good job in terms of always making that happen in terms of their concepts. And again, when it comes to, you know, Resense was this kind of like a a renewal for them in terms of the concept. But when Mr. happened, it's a different thing than an arena tour. So it's going back to songs that I never imagined that they would perform again after performing Recents. But it makes sense in terms of like the nostalgia factor and also establishing like this new thing that they're putting out there as a group. Of course, there are a lot of things that have changed considering, you know, the things that are happening. Like if you're a King and Prince fan, then you're probably aware of it already. But yeah, just to put it out there, it doesn't diminish the fact that this was a very well conceptualized and very well done production, and I'm glad that I'm finally going to be able to see to some extent the detail that Kinpuri themselves really put in terms of creating their production and not just relying on staff or whoever it is to create something, but their high involvement and technicality in terms of, you know, creating this kind of stage is what I loved about them in the first place. One of the things I'm looking forward to when it comes to the actual performance is the part when it comes to Magic Touch, Namae Oshiete, and Na Na Na. Now, even before learning that Cho was the one who produced and directed that segment of the concert, I was already curious about it because I saw so many reports from Japanese fans and even people who watched, you know, the concert that they did something with that. I love those songs. I love Kinpuri's more dance-focused songs, and so I was already, you know, kind of like excited to hear more about those performances. But then people said, you know, they remixed it, and there's just something here like it's dance after dance after dance, and so Water Break was incorporated into the actual choreo, and it was done brilliantly and all of those things and stuff like that. And I was just super excited to like learn about those things, and I was really looking forward to the DVD because of those kinds of reports. And then eventually they revealed that, you know, Sho was the one who actually was in charge of that particular segment, aside from choreographing Na 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 with Kaito. And so as with that, you know, I'm looking forward to it even more now. So you'll hear from me once I finally get to see it. Yeah. Forward to seeing the entire thing. That's definitely a lot of hours that's going to be poured into watching this, and I'm just super excited about it. And I don't know, maybe I'll end up talking about it. Who knows? But yeah. Overall, I'm just really, again, like everything, it feels bittersweet after that announcement, I would say. But there's one thing for sure, it's that I always trust the quality that they put out, and I'm really happy to be able to like invest in kinds of like this kind of like products and performances that doesn't really fail me in terms of expectations, and that's what Kinpuri is for me. So yeah, now with that said, so tell me down in the comments below if you've seen it already. I'm fine with spoilers. What are your favorite parts of the Dome Tour? What are your favorite parts of, what do you think about just the release in general? I don't know. Let's just talk it out down in the comments below. As usual, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you would want to hear more from me, please hit subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you again soon in a new one.